So it's been reported that some of the serious charges against Diddy have been dropped. The prosecutors dropping some of the charges. So that is not a lifetime sentence. There's two things that work with this situation. On one case, they was talking about life, but they were offering a plea deal. But now they having to drop some of the arson and a couple of things. And look, get that cat house arrest or give him a 10 to 15 year bid, and then with the time served, narrow it down to 5 and 5 years probation, and take about a couple $100 million and call it a day. But you didn't get what you came to get. This is a L for the government. And as bad as it was, state, they would have had a better chance. Federal, this ain't a federal game. This is just to shake it down. But what's happened is that I'm going to tell you like this. You should let him walk, because him being ostracized is far worse than getting locked up. Even though locked up is horrible, the ostracized is far worse, because that's all he know. But someone is out to really put him out. And they took a chunk out. It's gonna cost him about 200 or 300, 400 mil. But they ain't got, his pockets is too deep, and there's too much info that they can't quite get it. They didn't quite get it. This is a L. If you invade a man's privacy like that, and all the oils and all the people involved, there's a lot that you ain't gonna know about. There's a reason why Trump was saying, I'll give him a pardon. Of course he gonna get a pardon with this. If you drop in charges the day before and the prosecutor said, we're gonna drop some charges, you may as well let him go. You may as well. He's ostracized anyway. He ain't gonna get back to Hollywood. They're not gonna touch him. So you may as well just put him in the house arrest or just let him walk. But this is nonsense. This was a waste of time. And granted, his case still looks worse than R. Kelly's did, but at the same time, come to find out, you got 304s up involved, and people is all involved, and they either A, ain't telling all the truth, B, it ain't as serious as it was, or C, there's some pretty big heads on some of them tapes that they don't want you to know about. So, all the jokes aside, it ain't looking like it wasn't a slam dunk. The 98.7 conviction rate about to go to 98%, because they're going to have to take a lot off the table. That's not a lifetime sentence. That's why he was pretty cool about what he was saying. What's going to happen is that this is going to put him in good shape. Because if you can't take him out, then you're not credible. Then your case was weak sauce. Yeah, if you had to settle for 10, 15 years, you probably would have just kept on letting him walk. Because it's hard to prove a racketeer, especially in this case, without implementing others. And others, I mean Clive Davis, and others, I mean Jay-Z, or people who by association, because there are people who have association with him, allegedly. No, Clive do, but those others know about his business. And they're going to act like they don't know what he about. Now, whether they're there or not is a whole nother story. But the bottom line is this. It's coming down to where there's going to be egg on the face. So the prosecution dropping some charges against him, you may as well drop the case. Because the jury is not going to go all the way in to lock him up. And if you've taken a lot of the sting out of the arson, which is huge with Kid Cudi, because that was a huge one. So if you're taking some of that out, we're talking 10, 15. And then you plead that down to 8. And then you let him walk in 2 to 3. And then you take 200 or 300 million off of him, and you call it a day. Because that's what's going to come too. You're not going to get no racket. You're not. Unless you mention Clive Davis or somebody. And you got to bring more people and more fish to the fry. And Cassie took the money. You had that video, but you were going on that. And you were using as what that was. That's not federal. That's just something to. And actually, that ended up backfiring. A lot of this, as bad as he is, and it is bad, but it ain't convictable. So they take a major L on this one. I told y'all 10, 15 off the top at most. This lifetime we gonna like. Come on now. This ain't Frank Lucas and this ain't American Gangster. And there's a lot more heads to roll on this. So I'm telling you, y'all went too hard on it and you came up with a lot of gutter balls. And I'm not a Diddy fan at all, But I saw what the shakedown was. Y'all got mad because he stepped on the plantation and talked about the alcohol, and y'all had to show him that you had to give him his wake up call. But now it ain't that good. This case is falling by the bits. And it won't be long where y'all got to come in with another plea deal and say, can we get 5 years out you? Because you're not going to get the racket. You're not getting that rat Rico. You're not getting it now. You start dropping stuff this late in the game, you're not getting Rico. Anybody that's worth their salt and sand on that jury is seeing that this case is weak sauce. And I watch Willie D sometimes, and he talked about it too. But he was right. Because this thing here is weak sauce. Diddy gonna fool around and walk, but he ain't gonna have no money. He'll get ostracized, and that'll be even worse being locked up. But the fakery's about to come out the woodworks. But a lot of these people were lying. When they had that open Jerry Lewis telethon about did Diddy get you, did Diddy get you, and all people were lying, it turned out not to have that much steam. So it didn't turn out the way a lot of people are. Still should be concerned because there's going to be somebody else go down, and they will talk amongst themselves. And believe me, it ain't over. But this was a bad one. And if you the feds in this thing with Diddy, if he calls funny, but they jumped too quick on this one. This one backfired. He got the money too, and he got some weight. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share the video you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.